Truth is, I thought it mattered. I thought that
money
mattered. But does it bollocks? Not compared to how people matter.
Welcome, mention another fine folks to the Someday Dispatch of the Black Letter, where we contemplate thoughts worth thinking as we try to navigate our way through the upside-down, topsy-turvy world to greener pastures on the other side where we come out healthier, wealthier, and wiser. That's the goal, building our best lives during difficult times. I'm going to be talking mostly about cryptocurrencies today, seeing as the markets are closed. Gold and silver is not really being traded on a Sunday here, so we'll stick with the cryptocurrencies for this time, just to see where some things are at. As you know, I like Stellar, so I found an article here on Stellar, which I thought was marginally interesting. It primarily talks about technical analysis on the charts of Stellar Lumens. Some of you might find that helpful. As you know, I'm a bit of a hodler, as they say, or a holder, a long-term investor in cryptocurrencies. But there is, of course, money to be made in trading these things. But I'm sort of sticking to trading the stock market currently with some options. But let's begin. Here's Stellar Lumens. XLM is poised to bounce against Bitcoin, and here's why. So Stellar Lumens has retraced against Bitcoin over recent days, failing to follow other leading altcoins higher. Indicators suggest the altcoin may outperform Bitcoin, may soon outperform Bitcoin, a sentiment in line with those shared by crypto traders. The coin is purportedly due to bounce. A Tom DeMark sequential analysis indicates the sequential is an indicator that forms 9 and 13 candles when an asset undergoes a technical inflection point in its trend. Now, I don't understand the Tom DeMark sequential analysis, nor this 9 and 13 candle formation. But here's the chart of Stellar as compared to Bitcoin, or Stellar as it is worth in Bitcoins. You can see not very much at the moment, but this is probably some sort of Tom DeMark analysis here that would suggest things are going higher. Anyway, if you're into that sort of thing, there you go. There's some more reason to be bullish on Stellar. And it's not just that one particular view. Other analysts are also bullish on Stellar Lumens. One trader shared the chart below last week, and he said that XLM is still one of his favorites, and this is why. It's broken a 350 days of accumulation range, good volume expansion in the break in market structure, and currently retesting the accumulation range and making a new higher low. So I can get behind that. As you can see here, this is sort of the range it was in for, I guess that must be, over 350 days, because this is July. I can barely read it out here. And this is July as well. And I can't seem to open this up. Let's see if this will happen. Let's see if we can get a better look at it this way. Not particularly. Even if I go in, it's blurry, so it doesn't really help us anymore. But as you can see, it broke out, retested. It's an iffy retest in my opinion. It's kind of broken that trend line there, or that's a support level, if you will. And then he's suggesting it's going to go on up like this, but we'll have to wait. This has to start going above this line here, or this recent top in my mind, for it to be confirmed, but that's just me. Anyway, as you know, I invest in Stellar, and I think it's a relatively decent coin, although it's the one I have the least confidence in, as you know, because I think it's going to be competing with Ripple, although they are a little bit more focused on the unbanked, whereas Ripple, as I understand it, is focused more on the interbanking system, with others as well, of course. And Ripple is for-profit. It's a corporation, for-profit corporation, where Stellar is a non-profit, is my understanding. Of course, we saw some recent news about Jed McCaleb, who's one of the founders, I think, of both Mt. Gox and now also Stellar, and there were some concerns there about his behavior recently, at least as far as goes the Mt. Gox debacle that happened some time ago. But anyway, we'll see. Keep an eye out on Stellar, at least I'm going to, because obviously I'm invested in it. For altcoins to outperform Bitcoin, some analysts think that the leading cryptocurrency must maintain its consolidation in the $10,500 to $12,000 range. So I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think the thing with cryptocurrencies, as I've seen it so far, is that a rising tide raises all boats, usually. I've seen this. Oftentimes the altcoins will outperform Bitcoin, obviously, because their market cap is way smaller, so there's a lot of more potential on the upside. That's similar to how silver will often outperform gold, a much smaller market cap in the short term, but then also being more volatile. Of course, what happens is that it will underperform too on the downside, and we've seen that in the altcoins too. So obviously this is a very nascent space, very new, And you have to really do your due diligence if you're going to be investing in coins other than really Bitcoin and Ethereum at this stage. I think anything beyond that, you taking on more risk, obviously, for more reward. I have a little bit of Litecoin. I'm doing some Bitcoin Cash now too. I see that somewhat similar to Bitcoin in the way it should hopefully move. And then I have Ripple and Stellar, as you know, and I think that's about it. Of course, there's a lot of altcoins that are doing exceptionally well, but I don't have the time really to dive into that and to focus on which ones will be the best. So there you have it. Okay, DEX platforms, which are basically decentralized exchanges. That's what that means. So DEX platforms trade over $2.4 billion in 7 days. DeFi, decentralized finance swaps, up 68% since last week. So I thought this was interesting because the obviously cryptocurrency space is getting much bigger, and it seems to be happening fairly quickly. And obviously that can happen in such a small space. As you know, we're only at around a 300 or so billion market cap. Years ago, the cryptocurrency community did not have access to a plethora of decentralized exchanges. In 2020, with the rise of Ethereum, DEX platforms have grown exponentially, with trading applications like Uniswap, Ox, Kyber, and more. Then they go repeat sort of some of the volume that they hinted at in the headline. And here you can see this is the top 5 DEX trading platforms include Uniswap, Curve, Balancer, Kyber Network, and Ox, but I don't think in that order. See, Uniswap is certainly the biggest, 56% of the market here. And you can see the project here. So it's Uniswap, Curve, Balancer, Kyber, and Ox. And then some others, Didex, Banker Network. I'm familiar with all these ones, the first 6, and Synthetics too, but not the others. But there's the volume. I mean, it's huge, 1.4 billion. I mean, it's quite substantially higher than the second highest. For weeks now, and today, statistics show that Uniswap is the most popular DEX out there in terms of trade volume. The top 5 DEX platforms include Uniswap, Curve, Balancer, Kyber Network, and Ox. Essentially, these exchanges allow people to trade value, whether it be synthetic Bitcoin like WBTC, which is wrapped to Bitcoin basically, stablecoins like DAI, or any Ethereum token standard. The platform Uniswap is a DEX that runs on the Ethereum blockchain, and it allows permissionless swaps between ETH and over 200 ETH-based tokens. What that really means is that you can join up with Uniswap, attach a wallet to it, and you can exchange your currencies for whatever you want. So Ethereum is the easiest one. Otherwise, you have to go somewhere else, I think. I don't think you can wrap a Bitcoin on Uniswap, but so you have to get wrapped Bitcoin. But for example, if you have ETH, that's easy to swap it out for DAI, like a stable coin like that they mentioned, or pretty much any of the others. And folks are doing that. However, the gas fees or the exchange fees are so high that I'm just not seeing a good use case for it at this stage because of Ethereum is becoming so popular. The fees are dollars now per exchange. So really, it's you've got to be transacting in the thousands of dollars really to make it worthwhile. In my mind, it kind of defeats, I think, what the great potential of the decentralized financial network is supposed to be all about. Because obviously, the unbanked and those in developing communities and countries are not going to be able to afford dollars for a transaction fee. It's just becoming as bad as MoneyGram and the rest of them, right? Uniswap utilizes smart contracts and liquidity pools. On Saturday, 56% of $193 million out of the $448 million of 24-hour trades happened on Uniswap. And so there's some trading activity per day you can see. This is the volume. And so the highest volume, I think, is in USDC, which is a stable coin. And then DAI as well, Spank. There's a whole bunch of others. I'm not familiar with a lot of them. 21.3% of today's DEX trades are taking place on Curve, a decentralized exchange liquidity pool that's also built on Ethereum. Curve just recently launched in January 2020 and allows low slippage trades and a low fee algorithm. How much lower the fee they can get on Ethereum gas fees, I'm not sure. I don't think that's necessarily in their control, but perhaps what they do is the algorithm looks for the cheapest transaction fee available potentially. Balancer is a DEX aggregator that provides traders with swapping abilities between source liquidity. Ox is the 4th most used DEX, and then the 5th most popular DEX today is Kyber Network, which is an on-chain liquidity pool. Essentially uses pledged liquidity to the Kyber Network, which allows anyone to swap their tokens in a single transaction. So basically you're locking up your Kyber on the network in order to transact on it, basically is my understanding of that. All 5 of these exchanges have seen explosive trade volume increasing month over month. And here you can see the gas cost for typical actions at the recent gas prices. So it's really the transaction fees. They call them gas or GUI. Even though DeFi demand has grown exponentially, ETH fees have been climbing, and the gas to pay for a DEX trade on Uniswap can be costly. You can see here it's like $9.67, $6.48 on Uniswap trade, and just $1 for an ETH transfer. Those should be in the pennies, really, I think, in my opinion, if we want to get this thing really to take over decentralized finance or the financial system generally. And hopefully they're working on that. One of the clearest issues right now for DeFi is the exasperating ETH network fees, exactly as we spoke about earlier. So I'm going to sit what does it say down here? The typical actions, cost for typical actions at recent gas prices indicates that a Uniswap trade can be around $6.48 today. I mean, that's just outrageous. There you have it. While cryptocurrency is more than a hedge against US dollar inflation, precious metals used to be the best way to protect your portfolio from natural value deterioration, but Bitcoin is changing the game. During times of international economic crises, governments print money. This leads to inflation and investors subsequently stashing their investment capital on long-term stable investments. Historically, that has meant gold, and now they're starting to do it with Bitcoin as well. The United States Federal Reserve is handling the crisis terribly and has responded to soaring unemployment numbers in the same way they always do, by printing money. Already the dollar has lost 5% of its value. The currency is expected to shed up to 20% in the next few years, according to analysts at Goldman Sachs. Alongside this devaluation has come another threat to investors, deflation. With the value of dollar assets dropping rapidly and the worst yet to come, investors are looking to Bitcoin as a hedge against deflation. Then they talk about inflation and deflation. Keep it simple, in my mind, inflation is when your income is not going up as fast as prices of the things that you buy is going up. And so your purchasing power is being eroded. And that's what's coming down the pikes. But there's also the potential to have deflation, and we might be having deflation and inflation currently. I've seen in the produce aisles of my grocery store that inflation seems to have a good grip on those prices. But then deflation is also happening in other ways too. So they say, I haven't seen it personally in my experience, but that's possible. And deflation basically is when your income goes up or stays stable, and yet the price for goods is falling. So basically your purchasing power is expanding. The key point in these definitions is that inflation can only occur in fiat currencies, that is, those not backed based on the market value, of a tangible asset, but largely on confidence in growing gross domestic product. The global COVID-19 pandemic has given rise to a massively inflationary monetary policy, an aggressive expansion of money supply, while prices in certain key areas such as food staples keep increasing. In this environment, it's not surprising that gold is booming. There is, after all, only a limited supply of gold on Earth, and so its price cannot easily be affected by government policy. Some cryptocurrencies, however, are also booming, and we talked about this yesterday too, I think. The reason why some forms of cryptocurrency can act as a hedge against inflation is precisely the same reason gold can. There is a limited supply. The 21 million Bitcoin limit means that at a certain point there should be fewer Bitcoins versus the demand for them, meaning that in terms of value, the price per unit should increase as the supply decreases. Now, I'll take a bit of an issue with this point here, because the 21 million Bitcoin, we're already at almost 19 million is my understanding, 18 million and something. We'll have a look here when we check out the cryptocurrencies in a minute. But basically, you can easily get the demand outstripping the supply even before we reach 21 million. And this is what's been causing, I think, to some degree, the previous exponential rise in altcoins. And then also this point here I have difficulty with. It's not completely clear that Bitcoin is in fact a deflationary asset. Most estimates put in the last Bitcoin to be mined in 2140. What this means in practice is that Bitcoin will be unable to act as a completely stable hedge against inflation for at least another 120 years. And I'm not sure that's true. Because one of the beauties of Bitcoin is that we know exactly how many there will be at the end of the day, and that's 21 million, as he talks about up here, and that'll happen around 2140. Now, having said that, because we all know that, we know there's going to be a finite supply, so it doesn't matter when we reach that point. As long as people start wanting Bitcoin now, it doesn't matter if there were only 1 million or 21 million of them. The fact is that the price will go up because it will be it's a known stable amount that can be mined totally, and that's not the case with gold. Gold, we don't know exactly, specifically how much gold is left in the mantle on the Earth. And then, of course, there's the issue of asteroid mining at some point in the far future. But still, Bitcoin, we know exactly it's going to be 21 million. Nobody can change that. And because we have that knowledge, Bitcoin is going to act as a stable hedge against inflation, in my opinion. So there you have it, folks. Interesting article here too. I just thought I'd bring this up briefly. Walmart shoppers can now earn cryptocurrency back via StormX, which also supports cashback with Microsoft, eBay, and Nike. StormX users will be able to earn up to 4% cashback in cryptocurrency on all purchases from Walmart. Users with a diamond rank of status may get as much as 14%. StormX has partnered with 650 retailers, so they're able to offer cashback in cryptocurrency. The partners reportedly include Microsoft, eBay, Nike, Adidas, Target, Dell, and Samsung. So this is great news for cryptocurrency. Basically, folks are getting out there, and it's becoming more and more common. And I think, I look forward to the day when I can start earning cryptocurrency on my credit card. If this is what this is, a credit card, I'm assuming. I don't know for certain, but I just thought it's interesting. There's more and more news coming out every day, it seems, about the increasing growth and folks interested in cryptocurrency. So there can only be a bullish case, in my opinion, for Bitcoin and other altcoins in the long term. Just thought I'd show you real quick here before we go to the CoinMarketCap about Uniswap and how you can attach a wallet to it. Okay, so here is Uniswap, the automated liquidity protocol. You can read all about it. It's quite interesting. I have played with it before. It's neat. So you launch the app, and then of course you're going to have to attach a wallet to it. One of the easiest ways is to use a wallet called MetaMask. And so here you can swap any of these particular tokens, as you can see, ETH, wrapped ETH, OX BTC, which I guess is a wrapped type of Bitcoin. Maybe there's a WBTC down here too, yeah. So another wrapped Bitcoin. But the easiest, of course, is ETH. That's the default. And then if you want to change it to something else, so let's say I want to change it to, let's just choose one here, BAT, because I'm on the Brave browser, then I can exchange it like that. But what I have to do is connect my wallet. So over up here, I have MetaMask. This is an Ethereum wallet here, as you can see. So I'm just going to unlock that first before we get going. This is a Chrome browser. So Chrome browser add-on or application. And so I'll just sign in here and we'll get going. So you have to put in your password and then you unlock it. Okay, I'll read that later. So here's my account. I have just a smidgen of ETH here because what I had done is I've actually put ETH into a lottery pool, which is basically a no-lose lottery, which is quite fun. I'll show you that in a second too. And so here I am. So I'll connect my wallet now and it'll ask me if I want to. And these are the wallets you can use. MetaMask is just the easiest. As I said, it's in so I'll use this one, of course, because it's the only one I have with money in it. Now it's connecting. And I'm not actually going to do an exchange, so I can take my ETH, and that's how much I have. So I can, let's say, wanted to put in, say, 0.03, it would give me 43 BAT, for example. Price impact 4.82. This is liquidity fee, and this be the minimum received 43.58. So that's not such a bad exchange. I wonder if I could do it to Bitcoin Cash, maybe a wrapped Bitcoin Cash, probably not. But anyway, that's how you just change coins if you want. I don't really use this a lot because my wallet, Exodus wallet, also allows me to exchange one coin for another. Maybe not as many as 200, but certainly I can change others. So this is the route it'll go. It'll tell you to. It'll wrap the ETH and exchange it to DAI and then onto BAT. So quite interesting. Some folks are using a lot of arbitrage opportunities for this. I haven't really looked into that. Saw a case yesterday, Ivan on Tech, I think it was, showed a case where a guy took out a loan, an instant loan basically, and all in one transaction. He took out a loan for $500,000, and at the end of the day, after exchanging it through a whole bunch of different coins, made a profit of about $90,000. I mean, it's amazing. And I don't know the nuances of that, so unfortunately I can't help you with that. But there's a lot of opportunities in this space, obviously, and also a lot of risks too. So there you have it. And I'll show you the lottery pool as well, which is quite interesting. Okay, so here you are. See, this is pooltogether.com. You could win $478 every week just by saving your money. So you join the pool and you can learn how it works. And basically what you do, I'll sign in here and you can have a look. See, basically you sort of stake, I guess, some of your ETH, and that goes into the lottery pool. And then from the interest that's earned from everybody who's, I guess, locking up their ETH or other cryptocurrencies into this pool, the interest earned is basically what creates the winnable amount each week, and so you still keep your original amount that you entered, right? So it's quite fun. So here you can see the next prize, $481 dollars worth of DAI, I guess. And this is how much they've given away so far. And it's about every week, I think. So I'll connect my wallet here again. MetaMask is a handy wallet for this particular purpose. And then it should already show me the stuff I have already inside. So I have 51 tickets. Maybe I can have a look at this and see. So I have solo tickets. You can do pod tickets, I think, or daily pool solo tickets. So this is for day, and this is a daily pool for USDC, I think. So my total balance, I guess, is worth $51, and so that gives me 51 tickets. I've been playing this for a few weeks now. I haven't won anything, of course, but really, just for fun, shits and giggles, I'm happy to do that. There you go. I can get into more of this if you like. Just let me know in the comments below. But let's go back and check out the cryptocurrency market. Okay, so here we are. We have a $381 billion market cap while we're inching on 400 billion, up just a smidge, and 5,844 coins. That's up a little bit too. So sort of flat across the board. Some red, but just low numbers. So not too much going on. Litecoin is up a little bit. Interestingly, I'm not sure why. Bitcoin Cash a smidge as well. Where's the other one? Stellar's up a little bit green across the week, which is nice to see. As you know, Stellar has been a bit of a laggard so far. There's Dash, Zcash, quite a lot of these. Not a lot of big movements. Of course, XRP a little bit down, Ethereum down a little bit too. I wonder what the biggest coins are. I bet you it won't be any of the top 10, I don't imagine, that have had the greatest increase in the last 7 days. Let's have a look here. Well, look at that, 160%. You could have doubled your money in almost the top 3 coins here, but Numer, Waves, Reserve Token, I mean, I don't know any of these really. Aragon I've heard of. Swipe, not familiar with. Nest Protocol, interesting. Synthetics Network Token, I know of that one, up 54% in the week. Chainlink, of course, we've seen that as well. And Outlink. So there you have it, folks. Very interesting news. Okay, on to the online Oracle. But before, let's get ourselves set up for this week's earnings and see where things are looking at that way. Okay, so these are the earnings that are coming up starting on August the 17th. You can have a look here, just a couple of things. Carmart, that'll be interesting to see. Apparently, auto sales have been doing well. Home Depot, Walmart, that'll be interesting to watch. Lazy Boy, of course, too. Kohl's. So some interesting Cheetah Mobile. So it'll be interesting to see some earnings reports this week to see where things are at. Target, of course, Lowe's, Nvidia. Those will be interesting to watch. What do we have here on Thursday? Ross and Alibaba Group, Estee Lauder. Be interesting to see how those do. And then we finish up Friday with John Deere, Foot Locker as well. That'll be interesting to see. Those will be interesting for construction and also farming perhaps as well, agricultural equipment, and then also for retail. Give us an insight into that. All right. Okay, so the question I thought I'd ask the Magic 8 Ball today, just for fun, is will the main 3 market indices be up in value over the next week? And so what I'm talking about here is the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, and of course Nasdaq. I'm agnostic. They could be up or down. I don't know. They should be down. Yes, they will be up. Okay. This Magic 8 Ball continues to give me yes answers a lot, as you know. So, and I've cleared my cookies regularly so that I try and get more randomized results. But there you have it. And it doesn't matter if it gives me yes all the time, really. As I've said before, I use this just as a reminder to myself that this is just as accurate and should be listened to just as seriously as any of the analysts. So that's really what it is, just to give me a sense of where these analysts are coming from. And they're just as good as basically a monkey throwing darts or this Magic 8 Ball, in my opinion. There you have it, folks. The markets, according to the online oracle, our 8 Ball economist, is going to be up this week on all of them, apparently. So stay tuned. We'll see how that rolls out. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday, having a nice day off, and staying healthy out there. Weather here is fantastic where I am. It's actually too hot to run right now. Hopefully I'll be able to have a run later this evening or perhaps earlier tomorrow morning. Stay healthy, folks. Save some money, pay down debt, and we'll get through this together. And remember, above all else, dum spiro, spero.